Deuteronomy 5. Moses teaches Israel on the plains of Moab. Moses called all Israel together. He said to them, "Attention, Israel, listen obediently to the rules and regulations I am delivering to your listening ears today. Learn them, live them. God, our God, made a covenant with us at Horeb. God didn't just make this covenant with our parents, He made it also with us, with all of us who are living right now. God spoke to you personally out of the fire on the mountain at the time I stood between God and you to tell you what God said. You were afraid, remember? Of the fire and wouldn't climb the mountain, He said. I am God, your God, who brought you through the land of Egypt, out of the house of slaves. No other gods, only me. No carved gods of any size, shape, or form of anything whatsoever, whether of those that fly or walk or swim. Don't bow down to them and don't serve them, because I am God, your God. I am the most jealous God. I hold your parents responsible for any sins they pass on to their children, to the third and even to the fourth generation. But I'm lovingly loyal to the thousands who love me, keep my commandments, no using the name of God in curses or silly manner. God won't put up with the irrelevant use of His name. No working on the Sabbath. Keep it holy, just as God your God commanded you. Work 6 days a week, doing everything you have to do. But on the seventh day is a Sabbath, a rest day. No work, not you, your son or daughter, your servant, your maid, your your ox, your donkey, or any of your animals, and not even the foreigner visiting your town. That way your servants and maids will get the same rest as you. Don't ever forget that you were slaves in Egypt, and God, your God, got you out of there in a powerful show of strength. That's why God, your God, commands you to observe the day of Sabbath rest. Respect your father and mother. God, your God, commands it. You have a long life. the land that God is giving you will treat it well. No murder, no adultery, no stealing, no lies about your neighbor, no converting your neighbor's wife, no lusting for his house, field, servant, maid, ox, or donkey either. Nothing that belongs to your neighbor. Verse 22. There are the words that God spoke to the whole congregation at the mountain. He spoke in a tremendous voice from the fire and cloud and dark mist. And that was it. No more words. Then he wrote on 2 slabs of stone and gave them to me. As it turned out, when you heard the voice out of the dark cloud and saw the mountains on fire, you approached me, all the heads of your tribes and leaders, and said, "Our God has revealed to us his glory and greatness. We've heard him speak from the fire today. We've seen God can speak to humans and they can still live. But why risk it further? This huge fire will devour us if we stay around any longer. If we hear God's voice anymore, we'll die for sure." Has anyone ever known of anyone who has heard the voice of God the way we have? And lived to tell the story? Verse 27. From now on, you go and listen to what God, our God, says, and then tell us what God tells you. We'll listen and we'll do it. God heard what you said to me and told me. I've heard what the people said to you. They're right. Good and true words. What I wouldn't give if they'd always feel that way, continuing to revere me and always keep all my commandments. They'd have a good life forever, and they and their children. Go ahead and tell them to go home to their tents, but you stay here with me so I can tell you every commandment and all the rules and regulations that you must teach them so they'll know how to live in the land that I'm giving them as their own. So be very careful and act exactly as God commands you. Don't veer off to the right or to the left. Walk straight down the road God commands so that you'll have a good life and live a long time in the land that you're about to possess. Thank you for listening to this chapter, and God bless everyone.